Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Zoey if you are new here, and today's video is going to be a full coverage Friday video. Finally, I know I have been absent from this series for the past couple of weeks. If you do not know why, then I suggest you go watch my previous videos. I explain everything, why I've been gone for so long and whatnot. As you guys can see, I am in a new setup. There's a new background behind me. This isn't going to be my official setup or anything. This is just what I'm working with right now. I'll get everything more situated later and there will be a different setup than this. I'm going to be doing another full coverage Friday video. I'm so excited to be back for this series. I know you guys love this series, and I do too. I've been super busy and stressed and just moving nonstop, and it's been rough the past couple of weeks, so I'm happy I'm back and in my comfort zone and doing something that I love for myself and for you guys. If you want to follow me on any other social media account, you can check the description box down below. All of that information will be down there: Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. It'll all be linked down in the description box, along with all of the products that I use in today's video. So if you have questions on what primer I'm using, what powder I'm setting with, what foundation shade I am, go check the description box down below because all of that information will be listed down there. And please don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Join our little family and help us grow. Join us on this journey that we are now starting in a new place. And yeah, if you want to see what foundation I'm using and how it performs, then just keep watching. I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. I'm going to prime like normal. I'm going to use the primer that I always use, which is the Rose Caviar Essence. I am like literally almost out. This is a moisturizer, but I like to use it as a primer. So I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but my skin has been breaking out during this whole situation. I have been very stressed out, and I wasn't on top of my skincare routine through all of it, so I do have some newer, darker spots. But I'm back on my skincare, and hopefully these things go away fairly soon. I will have a skincare coming out very shortly. Hopefully it'll be up for you guys next week. I know I get tons of questions on my skincare all the time, so I'm going to finally do an updated skincare routine video for you guys so you guys can see the products that I'm using. Now I'm just going to take the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer, and I'm going to put this in my T-zone area. Okay, so for foundation, I'm going to be using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. I am in the shade Medium Honey, and we are going to do this using a brush and a sponge. I'm going to use a sponge on one side and brush on the other. That way you can see each finish, which looks better, which covers better. This foundation is matte, and it is super duper thick, like paint, like super thick. So I'm going to hope that a little goes a long way. I'm going to start off with that, and we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to start with the sponge side first, and I'm just going to go ahead and start blending this. This is the Real Techniques blending sponge, and I am using it damp. So the coverage isn't bad, but it is super duper thick, man. I have a feeling this is going to be better with the brush. Also, the shade's a little light for me. We'll see if it oxidizes it at all, but it's looking a little fair for me. Okay, so that's one layer on. You can still see everything. Not everything, but like my darker areas. So I'm going to go ahead and build it up and see how well it builds. Okay, so that's 2 layers on the cheek. I don't need to build it up on my forehead, just my cheek area. I'm going to build it up one more time. And I can still see things peeking through, like right here and a few back here, but I don't want to build it up again because it's going to get too cakey. This is a really thick foundation, so 3 layers is already a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side of my face, brush side of my face, and do the same exact steps. I'll start off with about that, and then I'm going to go in with a brush. So the brush I'm going to be using is the Morphe M439 brush. I know I need to clean it. I know. But this is my favorite foundation brush, and I'm just going to pounce this into my skin or dab it on instead of brushing it like this, because that'll offer more coverage if I am pouncing it. See, I can already tell that this is spreading so much better over here. It's covering a lot nicer. I'm still going to have to build it up, but not as much as I had to build up the other side, I don't think. Alright, so that's one layer with a brush. It did cover better, but I do still see areas peeking through, so I'm going to build it up and see if this will cover with 2 coats. Okay, so that's 2 layers on. I still kind of see my sideburn area right here. Doesn't really want to cover this area. Alright, so that's 3 layers on this area right here, and then the rest has 2 layers on it. It surprisingly doesn't look very bad on the skin for it to be a matte foundation and it to be a heavier consistency. On the sponge side, I don't really care for the finish just because I can still see stuff peeking through even with 3 layers on. At that point, I'm just wasting foundation. There's no need for that. This side built up so much better and it looks really good still. It's not a flat matte. I am going to have to set this foundation. It does have some tackiness to it. As you can see, it does kind of look dewy. I don't know if it's supposed to be matte or not. I'll have to let you guys know that later. But right now it has kind of a healthier glow to it. So for this to be a heavier consistency, it looks really good on the skin still. Does look a little heavy. I did have to go in with a lot though, but nothing crazy. It doesn't look horrible. Not my favorite foundation. The coverage wasn't enough for me. It might have been why I stopped using it is because of the coverage. The coverage just isn't high enough for me. So I'm going to be guys close up so you can see what it looks like sitting on my face. Alrighty, so this is a full face view. Here is the sponge side. Here is the brush side. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys what time it is. It's 11:56, so around 12 o'clock. Alright guys, so I am back. I'm completely done with all of my makeup and it still pretty much looks the same. It doesn't look bad on the skin, but I did have to use quite a bit, so I mean it looks kind of heavy, but it honestly does not look that bad, especially for it being a matte foundation. All my makeup went on really nicely. I feel like I look okay and like it doesn't look super duper cakey. And yeah, it looks fairly good. I think it looks a lot better with everything on. The spots on my face aren't as noticeable, but that being said, I could still see everything that I could see before. But the foundation didn't oxidize or anything like that. So I want to give you guys some pointers on the foundation first, so we don't have to wait until tonight to go through that. All right, so this foundation retails for $39. It is supposed to be full coverage. It is supposed to be matte, so it didn't dry down matte. I did set it with powder. I used the DERMABLEND Boost Setting Powder in Original. The coverage is full. It's supposed to last up to 12 hours. It can be used for normal combination and oily. I agree with that. I would try to steer clear of this if you have dry skin. I would not use this if you have dry skin. My skin was drier than what it is. I wouldn't use it. This also has SPF 15 in it, so it probably has flashback. So those are all the details on the foundation right now. Also, if you're wondering what lippy I'm wearing this like pretty corally pink shade. It is Betsey Johnson's liquid lipstick in Champagne. This little guy right here. I'm gonna give you guys one more close-up to show you what everything is looking like with all the powders and all the makeup and everything on top of it, and then I will update you at the end of the night. All right, so here's a full face view. Here is the sponge side. Here is the brush side. Okay, so I am back and it is about 9:30, so I've had this on over 9 hours now, and I have noticed a few things. I did get oily throughout the day, not terribly oily. I actually like that. You guys know that because it makes the foundation look a little bit more healthy, a little bit more natural, not so matte, not so cakey. So I don't mind the oiliness. I'm sorry, I have like a hair on my face. I don't mind the oiliness, but with that being said, I have noticed that it does transfer. I've noticed on a couple occasions if I itch my face, if I touch something with my face or anything like that, it transfers. I don't know if you guys can see this little scratch right here. That's from my daughter who was playing with my face and she like accidentally hit me. So some of the makeup rubbed off right there. It did settle into my pores. You'll be able to see that when I zoom you guys in for the close-up. It did settle into my pores throughout the day. But overall, it held up really, really well. It still looks really nicely. All of my makeup is still here. My blush, my contour, my highlights. Those are my only nitpicks about the foundation, really. Even my husband said that it looked pretty good on my skin earlier today, so that's a good thing. I'm going to give you guys a close-up. I don't have to give you guys any info on the foundation. I just want to let you guys know how it wore throughout the day. It settled, oils peaked, it did rub off or transfer if I touched it, so those are my main concerns. I'm going to give you guys a close-up really quickly so you can see what it looks like up close. So here's a full face view. As you can see here, I am very oily around my nose. You can see my pores a little bit. There we go. So it did settle. Oh, it doesn't look the best on my chin either. And it's kind of caking around this part right here. So here is the sponge side. Here is the brush side. So you guys saw what I saw. It did kind of cake up in a few areas. It did get really oily around my nose and it did settle into my pores, which is very frustrating because I hate when foundations settle into your pores. So this foundation for me wasn't my favorite. I probably wouldn't purchase it. It's not for me. Maybe if you have oilier skin or less pores, or your skin's a little bit more clear than mine, those can play a factor on whether or not you want to try this. I would say go pick it up and try a sample before you buy it, because it's not my favorite foundation. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't, oh my gosh, I need it in my life. It's gonna be a holy grail light. But yeah, those are all my thoughts. So I'm gonna go ahead and close out the video here. So thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video.